Hey everybody, Jay Lugo from Skybomb. Welcome to another live bet. Um, just been seeing a lot of lives going on, and I figured this is number three for me. So nobody on yet, but uh, definitely a lot of people going live. Most of the lives are pertaining to the whole Robinhood and AMC and the whole Wall Street bet stuff, but unfortunately, I didn't get in on that. Um, I wish I would have. I do have some long-term investments, but that's neither here nor there. Let's talk about the weekend. So the weekend, I went to the Willow Tree fly-in this weekend up in Groveland, Florida, and very good crowd, very good show. A lot of social distancing as always. Very small event, but there was definitely a good showing. My flight instructor was able to join me down there, and some friends from Spruce Creek flew in, so it was definitely a big success. As you saw, I released the Hold That Mallet was the last release, and so that was some of my training, some of my IFR training, just the beginning days of IFR training there. And so you'll definitely, when you watch the video, lots of mistake, lots of room for improvement there. So definitely don't watch it with the eyes of flight instructor, and watch it more for the how you're going to come up, how you'll be making mistakes, and then all of a sudden all these things will click, and you will grow as your rating progresses. Be it your private, be it your instrument, your commercial. Next one for me is going to be my certified flight instructor for helicopters, and then after that, I'll be uh, I'll be teaching students. So I had three people on here. I have two. The only way for me to really know who you are is if you type on the chat real quick and say hello, and then I can definitely interact with you. If you guys want to ask questions or what have you, I'll be more than happy to answer some questions. Two of you on here, so if you want to quickly type something out, say hello, and we can kind of do it that way to interact a little bit. But like I said, Willow Tree was amazing. I do have a formation video that I will be working on tomorrow and hope to release between tomorrow and the next day. And then after that, I'll be uh, I'll be going in on a little trip, so you won't see a lot of content being posted. That's why I took advantage to go live today, and maybe perhaps tomorrow I can go live also. It's usually when the house is the quietest, and unfortunately, because I don't have 1,000 subscribers, I'm a little small channel. I only have 269, I believe, right now. But as we grow and as I'm able to go live with my phone and with my tablet and a little bit more mobile places, I'll definitely be going live more often. I see a lot of the lives, and the people are really they're just like doing everyday things, and people stay alive. So I'm like, why not? I can do the same thing, but right now I'm kind of limited to where my laptop sits. So, which is not a bad view. I mean, look at this beautiful view back here. This is my living room and our dining area and what have you. So, but anyways, so I guess I got two shy people. Nobody's really typed. I'm gonna go ahead and hello, just type that out and see if somebody replies back there. Maybe somebody else will join or what have you. But definitely, I'll be cutting this. I'm not going to let it go too long. My longest one last time was about 8 minutes. And I just don't want to aimlessly sit here and say nothing. I'd love to answer some questions if you have any questions, or if I have a topic in mind. Like I said, the fly ins. The previous two fly-ins, Rich Landing was the one week before, and then this last week was Willow Tree. Willow Tree was amazing. The weather was so great. If you guys want to check out more like pictures and stuff, I posted some of that stuff on my Instagram. If you go to Instagram and just type in hashtag Skybomb, you'll be able to see some of that. And okay, hey, R-22 pilot trained in Seattle in the 1980s. Okay, how are you doing? Wanda, man, I cannot say. That's a difficult name. Vonda, welcome to the channel. I'm also Christian Bongelis. Welcome to Skybomb. I also I most of my training is in the R-22. Definitely not the 80s. I started my training in 2016, and so I've been able to fly most of the R-22, some of it in the R-44. I got a little R-66 time finally not too long ago. I think last June. Um, okay, ULPG. You got a little fixed wing too. Awesome. I fly a fixed wing too, as you could see with the RBs and the. I haven't flown a 172 in a while, but little ultralight action, hang gliding. I see your little hang gliding um, icon or logo. So I did a little bit of hang gliding myself too. Um, and then what else? Home variants. Okay. All right. And so yeah, I mean, definitely, I've, it's awesome to have somebody that's trained so long. And so what is the own variants? Is that a company? Uh, just gonna ask that because that one kind of confused me there. But no, definitely awesome to have somebody that's trained so long on the R-22 on that from these started in the late 1970s, the R-22 when Frank actually I mean he was making some of the parts in his oven in his house. So somebody training in the 80s, I mean, definitely was getting that very first part of the R-22, the Robinson Helicopter Company story. So that's pretty awesome. And then now we're up all the way to our R-66 turbine, and that machine's a beast. I spent about an hour flying in it, and I totally fell in love with it. I mean, if R-44, I guess is the more affordable of the two, but yeah, R-66 is just awesome. You'd love it, Christian. Um, but yeah, or helicycle. Yeah, I haven't tried the helicycle yet. I've tried the rotorway, and I've tried what is it? Um, well, somehow or another, I got into an Augusta Westland 109 some months ago, and that was just the dream. That is just an awesome ship. The e-power version has autopilot, IFR certified machine. It was just an amazing trip, and I still have a little bit more content on that I could probably sit there and edit and release. So that's on the works too. But back to the whole Robinson story. I mean, like I said, the 66 is just an amazing machine. Obviously, the numbers make more sense with the 44. Everything in the turbine world, it just costs twice as much. So if you're gonna run a small tour operation, what have you, definitely it's better to be in the whole 44 world rather than the 66. But if you're if the money is coming in and you're kind of stable. There's some operators where I'm at in Central Florida that they prefer the 66, and I'm hearing that they're just going to do away with the 44. They're moving into the turbine world, just full time, and they're just going to absorb the cost of just dealing with the maintenance and what have you, just because of the power. They're not power limited. With a 66, with a Rolls Royce 300, you're not going to be you're not going to be hurting for power at all. So yeah, I mean, it just really depends on the operator. Speaking of which, if anybody has any leads, I will ask. I just have all my stuff as far as my instrument, commercial, and I have a decent amount of hours to get into the air tours. Um, if anybody has any leads, feel free to reach out to me. I will definitely. I'm open to work as a tour pilot, and mainly in the Central Florida region. But if it's like South Florida, what have you, I'd be looking to entertain going down there. Part time, what have you. But boat picks, no, definitely no. No boat picks, just regular old air tours, and with with what is it? The um, social media. I mean, I'm looking like for some of the air tours. I noticed that some of them are not even running their socials. So yeah, well, CFI is on the works, Christian. I'm actually working with the owner of the aircraft, who is also my instructor, and he's had some maintenance that had to be done on the helicopter. That's why kind of my training's kind of like at a standstill. But while I'm waiting, at the end of this month, I'm getting my full down endorsement with somebody that it's a surprise, but very. If most of you watch YouTube and what have you, he's a very well known person. Um, so I'm getting my full down endorsement, and then I guess only instructor makes you very not not very much. Yeah, yeah. Yep, I'm getting the CFI for sure. So um, I'm definitely you know ground instructor might not be a bad thing to get, and also double I. It's just I've already I got a lot of money invested in this, so the sooner I can get a job, the better, obviously. But you know, um, definitely definitely something to consider. I mean, I'm definitely wanting to get the CFI. I know that that's a definite way to get a job for sure. So I want to get that most definitely, and then ground instructor down the road. I'll be looking to do that as well. So wow, look at this, 13 minutes with a little interaction. It just makes it so much easier to kind of sit there rather than just talk about stuff that I want to talk about. It's good to interact. So thank you so much, Christian, for participating. So back to okay, yeah, wrapping up. I'm gonna go ahead and just wrap up. This has definitely been the longest that I've done. Flying M, yes, I watch Maria a lot, and I've tailored a lot of my channel to those helicopter operating Robinson. Yep, definitely. There's a lot of stuff that and if I can't, I don't think he's given out his name, but the Modesto Ranch. He's very good as far as when you're running a ranch and using aircraft, mainly helicopters, to how to you know how they apply in a ranch with the whole live gain capture they do all kinds of stuff with the helicopters and the Modesto Ranch, the range, the aerial range shooting. It's awesome. I mean, the sky's the limit. You don't only have to go and work air tours on the 44s. There's a lot of stuff that if you kind of think outside the box, there's a lot of cattle mustering that you could do. There's they do the hug hunts. They do a lot of things that um, you're not a lot is going to come up in flight school. Mainly in flight school, is you're just knocking out your ratings, and most people they just want to do the whole flight instructor thing. So best real life review of costs and yep. So, but yeah, Modesto has I don't know if you've seen that channel, Modesto Ranch. Um, I can't remember his name, but I do follow him on Instagram and both on YouTube. But he's great. Yeah, Mendota Ranch. Yes, yes, Mendota. I always mess up that name. I I always I guess Modesto, California, Mendota Ranch. Yes, in Canadian Texas. That is a wonderful channel. So yeah, here I am giving promo to everybody else but me, but that's what I do. I love to learn and I love to stay engaged with the community. And if you like the accident reviews and stuff, and that's what my major's in. I have a upper a minor in aviation safety. So so anyhow, I love the Juan Brown, Blanco Aerial. Those are great channels to kind of watch. Um, yeah, Mendota, good tip. Thanks. You found it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's another great channel, Christian. So, but yeah, to kind of wrap up what I was saying. Wow, it's how crazy how time just goes. 17 minutes. It just just a live. I mean, I know people do hours and hours of live. I just I don't want to run out of stuff to say. I mean, if you want to sit here and watch me just kind of drink coffee, a degree in flight technology. Okay, I have a bachelor's from Embry-Riddle in professional aeronautics. I got that knocked out first before I got into my flight training because I knew if I got into flight training, I wasn't gonna get a degree. So I knocked out my degree back in 2011, and then 2012 is when I started kind of like my fixed wing and all that stuff. I have a website, and I kind of list that on the website there. So Northwest Montana here. Work on twins, Aztec, Apache. I'm eating breakfast. Yeah, wow. Good morning. Good morning. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I try to drop a lot of my videos around like 11:15 or so because I know that the West Coast is just waking up, and I figure I'm like if people want to watch the videos just early in the morning, it's good to get everybody wrapped up. So I think that's kind of been my tactic. Just releasing like I released this morning's video. Hold at Mallet at 11:15 with a premiere, which usually delays it 2 minutes. So yeah, that's kind of like the idea to keep I want to get the everybody that nationwide that can watch, and even to people internationally that want to watch. Definitely want to get them involved in aviation. That's really what this is all about. I'm very passionate about aviation, and I'm also very passionate about. I was a firefighter for 12 years. I still hold my certification from the state of Florida. I just resigned so I could pursue this flight journey. Just there was finally I got to the point where I just needed to pick one or the other. I picked flying. So watch part of Mallet. Yep, it's a pretty long video. Most of the time, like I said, I'm struggling on all that. Boring, but doing instrument good. Yeah, yeah. It's yeah, it's a long video and an it's a very tough rating to get through. So and a lot of the stuff is just discipline. It's just following a certain way and not second guessing. Just making a plan and kind of going with it. Unless you're kind of not doing good, then if ATC is telling you, hey, climb, go ahead and climb. Good pick flying. Yeah, it wasn't that hard, but eventually the plan is to get back to the firefighting world, but with a helicopter platform to support me, because like I said, I'm very passionate, as you can see. I'm still very passionate about the fire service. I just the flying in the flying in the fire engine, even though it's for the younger kids, the 20s, your 30s. When you kind of start climbing up in age, start getting a little older, you want to have a piece of machinery like a helicopter or an aircraft behind you to support you. Instrument rating, base rating will keep you from that. Yes, definitely. Very important rating. And that's why, Christian, I'll tell you, I did that rating kind of non-standard. Most people, they'll go and they'll get, like in the fixed wing world, they'll go and get their instrument. Um, yeah, so many accidents IMC with non-instrument pilots. Yes, definitely, most definitely. So in the fixed wing world, very typical for somebody to get the private pilot, and right afterwards they go and get their instrument. And it's followed up with the helicopter world. Same thing. A lot of people want to get their private, and then they want to jump right into instrument. Now, here's the problem I have with that. Instrument is it's a tough rating. There's no ifs and buts about it, and you have to stay current. So if you get your private done, and then now, granted, I'm talking with somebody that has previous fixed wing experience, and you have the hours, and you already have most of your requirements. You can still get your commercial if you have your fixed wing time, and you get your commercial first, and then you go get your instrument rating. To me, that just made the more sense. Now, obviously, at the fixed wing time, which the caveat with that too. Okay, so here we are. We're going to learn how to fly in a very complex machine called a helicopter. To me, that makes absolutely. I mean, yes, if you want to be a helicopter pilot, by all means, the time in the helicopter is key. But if you don't know how to talk on your radios, if you don't know anything about aerodynamics, if you don't know anything about anything, wouldn't it be best just to go and get your private fixed wing? And then after you get your private fixed wing, then you jump into the helicopters and you're not sitting there wasting your money? Because you might find out that by doing your private fixed wing, that flying is just not your thing. Maybe you thought it was your thing, and then all of a sudden you're like, you know what? Flying is not for me. I don't like it, or it doesn't make me, sometimes people just don't feel well physically flying, and that's okay. I mean, I have a great friend of mine, and he will sit here on YouTube and scour all types of flying videos and what have you, but he just can't physically fly. And that's very unfortunate, because that's what he wanted to do ever since he was a kid. But he's just not physically adapt to flying. And so my advice to a lot of people is go get a private fixed wing, because After all, if you wanting to do it, doesn't hurt to have fixed wing time anyways. And then you climb in the helicopter, you do an add-on. By that time, you're already built your hours, and then you can meet your requirements way cheaper to go and get your commercial, and then you follow up with your helicopter instrument, then you follow up with your CFI, double I, what have you. It's just, to me, it just makes more sense. But a lot of people will say no. Let's see, got my PP first, then fixed wing PV, yeah, but I've been flying hang gliding since 1972, 1982. R22 needed 150 power hours for rotor wing commercial. So lots of 100, 172, yep. Then commercial rotor wing, yep. So you kind of did it a little bit the other way than me, where um, you got your fixed wing in a helicopter first, which challenging. Way later, a degree plus instrument Piper aerial and fixed wing commercial. There you go. Yep, it's a lot of money. You're gonna spend a lot of money. And right now, what I decided was yes. Would I want an instrument in fixed wing? Most definitely. Would I want a commercial in fixed wing? Yes, obviously so. But what my passion is, it's in helicopters and rotor rings. So I figured I'm like, let me go ahead and stay rotor ring. I've already committed, already have a commercial, now an instrument, and then I'll have a CFI here pretty soon. And so once I teach a little bit, and then if the right situation comes along, and I can kind of get my instrument, which now that's just going to be a transition. Same thing with a commercial, just a transition. And then even a CFI will be, I'll have a CFI. So it'll just be a matter of meeting the requirements, flying the hours, and then falling into all that. So rotary is best. Yes, it's more complex. It's more complex. It's more, you have more to do. You have a lot more fun because you're thinking more, at least to me. It's the best as far as and I'm sorry. I mean, when it comes down to it, anybody can fly. For the most part, fixed wing, your 172s, your simple kind of aircraft. Anybody can fly those. Now you start talking about your tail wheels and your Benish stuff, and I'll give you definitely credit there with your Warbirds and more complex type machines in the fixed wing side of the house. Then yeah, not everybody can do that, but in the fixed wing, it's just you're just doing more. You're close to the ground. You're having, to me, a better time than just flying up. And for most of these guys, where they or gals, they'll get their fixed wing, and they're gonna get, they're gonna be instructor for a few years, and where are they gonna go? They're gonna go to the airlines, and that's, that works for some people, but other people, I mean, I've heard a lot, I have a lot of friends that have flown for the airlines or flew for the airlines, and some of them have really great stories, and others just, you know, they just didn't have a really good time. So rotary instruction is just a test to see if you can survive students trying to kill you. Yes, most definitely, Christian. Like it's just a big test. And not only that, can you arm them with the skills to be successful pilots? Because here, my flight instructor is in his 80s, and he's still teaching. And as far as his students, he's a very responsible flight instructor. He has, the highest rating as far as flight instructor can. Well, not flight instructor, but as a pilot, he holds an ATP um, certificate. And so, you're getting really good quality instruction from somebody that's just been around the aircraft for a very long time. I think he bought one of the first R-22s. So he's very well versed in what the capabilities of the machine, what the machine can do and can't do, and he's been able to bestow that training onto me now. So I mean, it's you run into that stuff too. Like you have some of these young instructors. Nothing against the young guys, but when it comes down to who you learn this from, and your habits, um, your rotor wing instructor asked her to be high quality. Yes, thank you very much. I'll be sure to let him know that everybody is saying that, because he is, to me, he's he's definitely one of the, I've flown with other instructors, and it's right there neck to neck. There's another guy that you see in my videos too. His name is Steve, or also known as the Hollywood Pilot. I have a lot of respect for him as an instructor also. So those two, and then the difference there is that they both hold ATP certificates. They're both ATP. They've been around aviation. They're passionate about aviation, and so you get that quality of instruction from those guys rather than your younger guys. They just got their CFI. You're probably their first or second student, and they just can't wait until they can go and move on to something else. They're not even thinking about um, the current job. They're just building their time, buying their time. They will even tell you they don't like flight instructing, you know. And I appreciate the candidness, because hey, if I know that you don't like flight instructing, then I'm not even gonna waste my time, as far as like, I'm not gonna try to do anything advanced, like I did some of the training down in South Florida, and I figured my instructor was chief pilot at the classic helicopters, super experienced and respected. There you go. It's very important who you learn from, because you really pick up those good habits there. Um, but yeah, going back to people that aren't just passionate about teaching, then you really want to kind of keep it. I did some training at a school in South Florida. No need to mention names, but yeah, I kept it very basic. I just built a lot of my time with them, and just went to different places with those instructors, because I just didn't have a lot of confidence in them doing advanced maneuvers like autos or anything too crazy. And I just said, no, just kind of take me from A to B, and we'll just call it that. Um, and so yeah, those top instructor, and you could certainly tell the difference between somebody that's just doing it just to build the hours and just go, rather than somebody that is passionate about teaching. And even though they might be building the hours, they're still passionate about what they're doing, and so they're giving you the best from them, per se. So that's pretty much. I think I've covered a great deal there. Well, thank you so much, Christian, for engaging there. I know you comment a lot on the videos and stuff, so I appreciate the participation. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. We're already up in 33 minutes. Wow, I didn't realize I could talk that long, but I guess I can when I have a little bit of interaction. But yeah, thank you so much for everybody tuning in. Says I have three people, um, including including Christian, who's been definitely had a great interaction with him as far as the live is concerned. Have a great day. Hope you have not too cold weather up in Montana where you're at. And just as always, Jay Lugo from Skybomb signing out. Take care, everybody. Take care, Christian. Thank you so much.